So I won't take much time because we are already running a little late. So see, all of us, few of my fellow presenters, they have already talked about what kind of collaboration, experiential learning is school leaders are looking at. So without going into that, what I will talk about is how technology can help in school education. Few ideas I would like to share from my personal experience. So before I move on to technology areas, I have just listed down few pain areas which most of us go through. Few as a learner students, and few as a parent. We talked about that we have multiple stakeholders in education domain, students, teachers, principal. So as a parent, I am not aware of how my kid is doing. So is there some technology which can help me? So we'll talk about that. I don't know how my kid has learned, how he or she is studying. I don't know how my kid learned in the school. So I think as a teacher, you already know your pain areas. Still, I have tried to list down few of them. It is very difficult to know as to what all different types of learners I have in my class. I don't have enough time to spend with each one of them. I don't know their weak areas. I don't know where my kid's strength lies. So how do I enrich all these students with the technology? So I think this is the human mankind which I have just tried to depict here. This is how we started the race. We moved on to the into the different areas, into the different eras, and now we are into digital age where technology comes to our aid, right? So world around us is changing very fast. It's now digital. Technology is everywhere. So this is the conventional teaching method which I have tried to depict here. We all have studied in this kind of environment in 20th century. In fact, in last 5-10 years, this all has changed now. So from chalk and talk methods, now slowly and steadily we are moving into the next generation of teaching, which is ICT enabled. Now more and more schools are networked, more and more PCs are networked. We have convergence of different devices. We study from laptops, we study from netbooks, we study from mobile devices, we study online, we study offline. So that convergence has taken place with the help of obviously technology. We go to lots of blogs, we read from there, we learn from there. So it's not only, I would say, conventional method or formal learning which is happening, but more of informal learning which has started happening with the help of technology. So all these are examples of those informal learning spaces. There are multiple chat engines, wiki is available, podcast, vodcast, and then my fellow friend talked about LMS also. So more and more schools are moving towards learning management systems. And obviously peer-to-peer learning. So another slide where I have depicted how traditional learning was happening in our earlier ages. So there used to be a guru in few of the ashrams. Then they have some literature in those ashrams. Now this entire traditional learning process is getting changed. How? So there is a teacher instead of guru. This literature is changed into multimedia based content or e-learning. There is collaboration which is happening with peers. It can be online, it can be offline. So all this has been made possible with the help of technology. I hope you agree. There are assessment labs, online testing which is happening, and then there is an evaluation system which is in place with the help of, again, technology. So that entire learning process is now totally changed. And obviously technology is helping us there. So now I have just tried to list down few ways by which this entire new age learning is happening. So a guru can be present in a ILT mode, which is instructor-led training. That's where you teacher come into place. Or there we can have virtual classrooms. We talked about that virtual thing also. Content could be on Wikipedia, it could be on Khan Academy, it could be on any other websites. Or we could have PPTs, we could have videos, we have MOOCs which is in place now, massive open online learning which is happening nowadays, which is a new rage. There are animations, simulations. When we talk about collaboration, we all know Facebook, though we may use Facebook for different purposes. We have discussion forums, blogs, Twitter. And then when we talk about assessment lab, we do have virtual labs where people can go and try out different permutation combinations. They can try out online testing also. And when it comes to evaluation, obviously we have great solutions in place. So this entire IT infrastructure is what we need in present day learning. So here I have just tried to depict a school or maybe a classroom or a lab, how it looks like in technology enabled learning. So there may be multiple students who are using these PCs, or there may be multiple classroom teachers who are using these systems in their classrooms. So taking it forward, if we want our learning to be collaborative, if we want our learning to be experiential learning, obviously we need to connect these classrooms with the help of networks, or we need to connect all these different schools with other schools which may be spread across geography. So that's what I have tried to list down in my next slide. So there are multiple schools who are kind of connecting with each other, learners connecting with each other, teachers which are connecting with each other. So hence experiential learning comes into picture, comes into play. So all these schools, if you see, they are connected. So I may have a DPS branch in say Delhi who wants to learn from experiential learning of another teacher who is sitting in some other DPS or maybe with some other school. So all that is nowadays possible with the help of IT infrastructure. And not only schools, even our fellow peers, learners can also connect with each other. So out here I have tried to depict a student who is sitting at home, who may want to speak with other peers of other schools. So how a student looks like today, what kind of learning are they looking for? So a few of my friends talk about personalized learning. I will not delve into that. I have just a small video which I would like to play here. So which says a vision of today's student. So I think we need to just understand a few writings on the wall. I mean, last 3-4 hours, that's exactly what all of us are talking about, isn't it? that we need to connect our fellow students, we need to connect our teachers, we need to connect our schools, because learning is not something which will happen only inside four walls. It's somewhere else also. So how do we connect our formal learning with informal learning spaces is what all of us, is what all leaders needs to understand. So that's what this video was all about. So I'll move on. So I just have captured few future trends which I believe you leaders would be interested in knowing about. So we have seen cloud-based, we have heard a lot about cloud, right? So cloud-based education is the next big thing which is doing rounds. We have seen Google Docs, we have seen Flickr, we have seen Khan Academy and the MOOCs. So all of them are on cloud nowadays and learning can happen there. So on the similar concept in NIT also we have developed a solution which we call as ICR at home, which is totally a learning management system, can be accessed by teachers, students, parents, and everybody who are the stakeholders. That is totally cloud-based solution. The next big thing which is happening in technology when it comes to education is HTML5 based learning content. So most of us have seen PPTs, we have seen videos, we have seen Flash based content in our classrooms and over the net. But nowadays the technology which is the next big piece which will happen on internet space is HTML5. So entire Flash content, as people are already started saying that Flash may be dead in next year or so. So now the interactive content would be in HTML5 in next few years. And this HTML5 based content, it will work on different devices, be it a laptop or a netbook or a tablet or a smartphone. So that's the next big change which will happen. Few of our fellow friends, they also mentioned about mobile based education or mobile computing, which is the next big wave, right? So let us see what Gartner is saying about mobile computing or mobile education. They're saying that less than 20 million media tablets such as iPad were sold in 2010, but by 2014, the total installed base of these smart devices or small devices, this will exceed the total installed base of all PC-based systems. So you can understand that in the next year or so, all these small devices will outnumber the big devices. So you can see the change which is happening, which has already started happening. Convergence and mobile computing. So all these devices should be able to speak with each other. So hence we need system, we need digital content which can run on multiple devices so that whosoever is carrying whatever kind of devices is able to study. So the next big concept which may happen is bring your devices inside school. It may be any kind of devices, but you should be able to connect with the learning. Another point which we talked about is social, collaborative, experiential learning, virtual learning. So I will not dwell much on this. But nowadays, whatever they are able to allow teachers to speak with each other, to collaborate with each other, and to take experiential learning ahead. Augmented reality is another next big wave which is happening. So I'll just give you one small example. Let's say as a school teacher you want to discuss about Ajanta Ellora in your class, in your history class. So presently what do? You may have a textbook where you will show all those pictures, all those graphics, or you may have a digital content. But if you are given a digital content on the top of which you can write, you can move inside, you can make a student experience as to what it looks like when they enter into those caves. So I think it would be a different type of learning altogether. You will take your students' learning habits to the next level. So that's what your augmented reality will allow us. And this is how information explosion is happening with the help of technology. Just a trend which I have tried to capture here. In year 1900, information was doubling every century. By 1945, it was doubling every 25 years. By 94, it was doubling every 10 years, and now if you look in 2011, it is doubling every 11 hours. Humongous, isn't it? So what will we do with this information if we are just stuck inside our four walls of our classroom? So we have to open up.